Now, before I get started with anything, I know that you guys have been replying in the comments saying that I say the words "you know" a lot, and I think I just did just now. And I am sorry for that, and hopefully I will try to do a lot better in this video, and hopefully for the near future and all that. So, and if I do say those two words again, I'll hopefully stop and catch myself. Hopefully, that's good water. Hopefully catch myself and hopefully move on. I'm starting to think hopefully it's going to be my next big thing to say. Anyway, and second of all, I've been trying to make a video all freaking day, but my mom and dad have been making me do all this other crap, and oh my gosh, it's been a long day. I've done several takes of this and I've never got it done. Hopefully I can get done now, get some peace and quiet, and hopefully review The Lone Ranger and Despicable Me 2 without any interruptions. Now let's get started. Like I said, Lone Ranger, Despicable Me 2. I'm going to start off with The Lone Ranger. Now, The Lone Ranger is this Western film, It's actually a remake of an old, TV show, back in the day. I don't exactly remember when, but it's one that I'm pretty sure people have heard of before. And it stars Armie Hammer as the Lone Ranger. Now, let me just say this, Armie Hammer, he's been in movies like The Social Network, Mirror Mirror, J. Edgar, mostly supporting roles. And I think ever since The Social Network, he's starting to kind of boost himself up, because he actually did give a great performance in The Social Network. But in the movies he's been in now, aside from J. Edgar, he hadn't really boosted up his career in a sense, It hasn't shown him his great acting abilities that he can. I do have faith in him still, but like I said, this movie, I almost said it that time. Thank goodness I caught myself. Okay, but anyway, like I said, in this movie, it doesn't really show that, because let's face it, we're only here to watch Johnny Depp. I mean, Tonto, the Native American Indian that he has to team up with, and then they get to fight all the bad guys, That's really where the whole point why people will watch this movie is because of Johnny Depp. Now, from what I've heard from people say that this is like a westernized version of Pirates of the Caribbean, and honestly it is. It's really just a westernized Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, Johnny Depp. Let me just say this, Johnny Depp is a Native American Jack Sparrow in this movie, his awkward mannerisms, the way he talks, it's still there. He still cannot let go of Jack Sparrow, But you got to give him credit though, because that was his big career performance. That's the role he's probably going to be most known for in the history of his career. But he has to let it go. I mean, it's been 10 years, since the first Pirates of the Caribbean, and it's only been 2 years ever since the previous Pirates of the Caribbean. But he needs to let it go. But anyway, I'm kind of getting off topic about that. Now, let me just say, this movie, the story is a bit of a mess. It's not, it's just kind of all over the place. It goes from one thing to another, and then it's replaced with this weird, stupid humor, which you kind of see in Pirates of the Caribbean, but there's not so much of it. And yeah, at one point it is kind of work for the movie, but in this movie, it doesn't really work that way very well at all. I mean, this grass is very distracting. Sorry. Anyway, I need more water real quick. Now that's refreshing. Anyway, like I said, this story really is a bit of a mess. It kind of just goes all over the place. And the chemistry between, Tonto, the Lone Ranger, it just doesn't work, It just doesn't feel right. And honestly, you don't really feel like you're rooting for the Lone Ranger in this movie. You're really rooting for Tonto. Really, I'm not even playing, You're rooting for Johnny Depp. You're like, Lone Ranger, who the heck's that guy, You just don't give a crap about him, You only care about the big stars. And that's really the way this movie is for me, It just doesn't feel special, even though it does try to bring in some Western memorabilia, like near the end of the movie when they start bringing the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, all that song. It helps boost it up, but not so much, But like I said, the story is kind of a mess. It does try to bring back Western memorabilia, but it just doesn't work. It's not to me that this movie was completely a huge disaster, but this is a movie that just does not work for me. It just does not click. It does not, showcase that director Gore Verbinski can try to do something, hopefully that's not in a Pirates of the Caribbean sense, and make it work. He didn't do that in this movie. He did that when he made Rango, which I was very impressed with, but for right now, I guess this is what we're stuck with. I actually gave this movie a 4. It's, right there from being like bad, but it's just not movie worthy. You know, I mean, people have been expecting this movie, you know, to be great. You know, I mean, when the trailer came out last year, I was excited for it, and then now that it's here and the way that it's made, I just could not feel it in this movie. I really could not. But that doesn't mean Despicable 2 won't change that fact. Now let's talk about Despicable Me 2. If you ever seen the first Despicable movie, you know, I love that movie. I enjoyed the first movie. It was very awesome. It was cartoon-like. It was fun. It was exciting, you know. It was fun for all ages. It's kind of like a Pixar movie, but more of in a fun sense, and it's done right. You know, I really love that. And this movie does kind of bring back the reasons why we love Despicable Me 1, you know, is because it's, you know, it's funny and it's cartoon-like, and it does bring occasional heart, and, you know, it just all works together. This movie is definitely like that. It is very different, you know, because Gru, you know, now he has to take on, you know, not only, you know, being a father figure type to these 3 kids that he adopted, but now he has to, you know, save the world, you know. And let me just say this, you know, Gru and the girl Lucy, you know, they were, you know, kind of like them on screen. It just, like the love story, you know, between that, it just didn't feel necessarily right to me. It just didn't necessarily work out for me, but in the end, it does kind of manage to work out in a sense. But really, I couldn't really feel that in this movie. But in the movie, I did like the Minions a lot more than the first one, because I think, you know, definitely they were more funnier in this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, I loved them in the first one. This one, they were kind of more funnier. They were more kind of like, you know, well built into the story, you know, and it was great for that. And also the main villain in this movie, El Macho. This is kind of a movie, you know, this big guy, he was very impressive. He's kind of dark for kids, you know, but it really works so well. He's just a very creative villain, you know. Illumination Entertainment really put their cards right on this villain, you know, and I liked him better than Victor from the first one, honestly. I mean, because, you know, Victor, he's just kind of like, you know, laying back, playing his Wii and all that, and El Macho, you know, he's like a very dark, complex type villain, but in a cartoon sense, to where it's still enjoyable and fun to watch. Now, you know, I mean, I was really surprised that this movie was actually going to be good. I wasn't really so sure what this movie would be like. I didn't know if it was going to be good or not, but I'm really glad it was. I give this movie an 8. I mean, it's not, to me, it's not really better than the first Despicable Me. It's probably like, here's Despicable Me, and then here's the second one. It's probably just like right under there, but they did play their cards very well in this one. I am thankful for that. I am thankful that they actually got a great sequel, you know, to actually work in this movie. It brought back what I loved about the first Despicable Me. It does have its flaws, but in the end, it is still a great movie. And that's my review for this weekend or yesterday, whatever. Be sure to let me know any other movies that you want me to review, any other movies at all. Let me know in the comments below, you know, and be sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends. Hopefully, I won't have to try to do as many more takes as I do, and hopefully I won't be on vacation a whole lot. Hopefully I should be back for the rest of the month, and then next month I'll be busy, but I'll be kind of working in and out, and hopefully it will all just work out in the very end. Hopefully I will see you sometime today, tomorrow, the next day, or whatever. Adios, amigos.